I think we'll start a little early. Oh, we got some vibrant people back there. Wonderful. My name is TJ Rinaldi. I am your District 6270 trainer. And with me today are a slew of district staffers who are ready to begin your President's Training. So this is the President-elect Training Seminar Orientation. And we're very excited that you could be here on a snowy morning. And we will be on schedule, if not ahead of schedule today. So yes, woohoo! And we're gonna have a lot of fun today, believe it or not, in your preparations for a couple weeks from now when we're in Chicago. So with me today on the trainers team is our assistant Victor Frazier here, and also Ludmila Mizolik. And Ludmila is going to be taking over my role after June and be your new district trainer as I am transitioning into the president's role in the Watoma Club, which is way off the beaten path in the northwest corner of our district. And it's my pleasure this morning to talk to you a little bit about your incoming district governor, your district governor-elect, or DGE. So you're going to see lots of abbreviations and letters and everything. So if you get confused, don't worry. Everybody gets confused with that in the beginning. And so DGE means District Governor-elect. Our DGE is actually a second-generation Rotarian who started his journey in Rotary as an interactor. And that's, as a youth, he got involved with that and eventually transitioned into Rotaract, and then officially into Rotary in the Racine Founders Club. He transferred from the Racine Founders Club to the Mequon-Thiensville Club and spent time there until he was actually instrumental in creating a satellite club and sprouted a brand new club in Mequon, Milwaukee, where he is now a member. He's also recruited a number of people out of the Mequon, Milwaukee Club who are district personnel. So this man is a very influential man. He's actually been a mentor of mine as well. He started as an assistant trainer in the district, transitioned to trainer. He's the public image chair, and of course now your DGE. And the person I'm talking about here is Kola Alayande, and we're very excited to have him here. There he is right there. So I'm going to hand it over to Kola. He will be leading the activities today. We're going to break away here and there for breakouts and breaks and anything like that. I just want to mention that in the back there's refreshments. We will have a box lunch when we're all finished today. So if you need anything as far as logistics go, you can see me, Victor, or Ludmila. Okay, but I'd like to introduce Kola. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's a lovely day out there. Very sunny too. Thank you for coming out. It's not the most beautiful day, and I know Super Bowl is supposed to be tomorrow, right? I've not been involved with it since our favorite guy here on left the game coming back, so I don't know what's happening with the game anymore. But I appreciate the fact that you're here. The goal is to spend quality time together to give you some of the basics of what to expect as presidents when you start your tenure. They have the PETS Council, and they have a format of what they expect us to present here before you now go down to Itasca on the 2nd of March through the 4th, where you now go through the series of official Rotary training and all this stuff. I'll be candid enough to tell you that the biggest thing for me, in my experience with this whole process, is the networking. Not as much of the training per se. The training is great, you learn good things, but the biggest thing is the people you get to meet where you can bounce ideas about how things are done, how they do things. You can network with them to learn, because I always steal some wonderful idea that I got from somebody else, modify it, bring it to my club, and look like a superstar. And that's that's the best thing in my Rotary experience that's there, is that you learn from other people. But before we go any further, as TJ rightly did, and thank you very much again for TJ for the warm introduction. As TJ rightly said, there are some leaders of the district that are here, and I want to acknowledge them. I would want for everybody who serves at the district, either as incoming or existing, to please stand up for a second, and we can give them an applause for sacrificing their time just like you're all doing. If you are at the district level, please stand up, let them see you, and you're all there. Thank you all. We have the DG, Jeffrey, who is hiding in the back there. As he told me, he said today is my day, so he's going to stay in the shadows and just be there if I need any help. I have Tammy Coop, who is the secretary for the district. She keeps everybody organized and keeps things happening. You have Dana hiding in the corner there. She's been the one here. She's been with me since 7:15 a.m., cranking things out. Dana, thank you very much. We have Steen Sanderhoff, who is the DGN, soon to be DGE, hiding in the back as well. And then we have Craig Burnett, the interesting gentleman who is in some sort of strange limbo. He is the DGND, District Governor Nominee Designate, which means that he's the District Governor nominee, but until the annual general meeting that the district has as a district conference, then where he's officially announced, and then he becomes DGN, and then Steen becomes DG, and then I'm kicked up to the DG role. Thank you all, and then we have the training team. This is their day. They are the ones in charge of the day. They keep everything going. The training team are the ones that, and I appreciate again TJ, Victor, and Ludmila for helping with all of this. Thank you all. So, today we're going to talk about pets. Before I go into giving long stories, I'm going to just play, I might interspace some of the presentation with a few videos here and there just to keep you motivated. So I'm going to start off with one little video that says, "No limits."
We've been here before, fighting the problems that fight back, because we see opportunities where others see obstacles. We're change makers and problem solvers, uniting over 1 million minds to address complex issues facing communities around the world, including yours. We're working together as partners and professionals, while making friendships that last a lifetime. We're Rotary, and there's no limit to what we can do.
As the video said, there is no limits to what we can do. That's why we're all here. That's why we left our homes. Some of you drove as far as 2 hours to get here. That's the commitment. Volunteering. I asked, I think it was Mark this morning, if he gets a paycheck for being AG, and he cracked up at me because I wanted to find out where my check was. Nobody gets paid to be here. This is basically out of love for our community, and that's what we're here for, to make changes, positive changes in the lives of people. So that's the big thing about Rotary. Now, can we move to the next slide, please? Yeah. So the agenda for today is you're going to learn more about the district, what happens, because sometimes in some clubs we found out, well, there was a strategic planning session that was done about 2 years ago, 2016, and some of the feedback we had from clubs was, what's the district? What makes up the district? Who are they? What do they do? And so there's a disconnect now. There was a disconnect between the district and the clubs, and what we decided to do was to push with the leadership of the district that said, okay, well, let's get this clear all this whole disconnect in there and build a much more stronger network between the district and the clubs. Now, the interesting thing is that most of the people in the district are members of your clubs. And some of them might be very good at hiding in the shadows, like I do, but they're all people around you that you can reach out to. So we're going to spend some time learning about district and RI and what they expect. You're going to learn about your role as club president. It will start with what is expected of you as a president-elect within the next few months of you preparing for your role as a president. And then you're going to learn about how to be a part of the district team. We're always recruiting. We have committees that need people to be on. We need fresh ideas in those committees. So we're going to be trying to get you to know more about that. And then final preparation for the March 2nd to the 4th at the Itasca for the actual pets, which should be a fun-filled weekend getaway, if I'll say anything. So, let's talk about the district. In a district, there's a bunch of committees. There was not enough space here for me to fill up everything, but what I did was I just took some of the basic ones. We have a board. It used to be called the Executive Council, and it's now a board because the district incorporated and became an official 501c recently, and this is just to make sure that we have certain things in place. We have a finance committee. We could do with help with some of you who are accountants and number crunchers who know things about money and stuff. You could help in finance committee. We have the training team, which is led by the district trainer. We have the foundation, which we all know because you'll be hearing from me a lot of me coming to knock on your door asking for more money because we have things we need to do with those monies. Youth exchange. I was blown away. I went on a trip to the Central States Youth Exchange in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was amazing seeing these youngsters and the wonderful things and the experiences they come with. I'm hoping to get more clubs to get involved in that and sponsor some kids to go out and also host some kids. Membership. That's Rotary's favorite theme song. Membership. How do we grow our members? There are different ideas out there, and I'm open to new ideas. This is all about collective, coming together as a collective to think of how to grow our membership. So we have a committee, and you can all join. Extension is an interesting one. The extension is actually new club creation committee. This is a committee that's supposed to be in charge of creating new clubs within the district. I don't know why RI decided to call it extension. I think it's kind of like weird. It's confusing. But it's the new club committee that they oversee and help with building new clubs. So some of you, I know some of your clubs are talking about things like satellite clubs and stuff like that. They would be, the people to work hand in hand with membership. Interact. I sent out an email, I think about a month ago, a blast email to all the executives of clubs asking for, which one of these clubs have Interact clubs and who knows what and who is in charge. The goal is we're supposed to be trying to grow the Interacts and see how much we can build a pipeline. Youth protection, very critical. You've all been seeing in the news within the last 1 year how much about all these stories about harassments and all sorts of things. So it is a very, very, very sensitive time in the country. So we have to be very particular about youth protection. And so one of the things that will be happening is that the current gentleman who chairs that team will be visiting clubs to talk about youth protection specifically. So this is a very, very big thing. And while I'm at it, there's a couple of documents here that was not in the bundle you got. So when you're leaving, can you please stop by the table when you signed in and pick up the two documents, one on youth protection and the other about leadership in action, that you can grab on your way out as well. Visioning. This is kind of like the most basic way I can describe visioning, which is more or less helping your club to see what its goals and strategic planning kind of thing. It's a great thing to do. So we have that group. We need people to join to help us so we can have more people to help other clubs as well. New generations, youth. That's another signature tune from Rotary. So you're going to hear a lot about that. And actually the incoming RI president is big about the whole new generation thing. So public image as well, we need people to join. Conference advisory for the district conference, we need people to come on. We need your ideas. We need fresh ideas on what you expect to see. You see, the district level requires direct input from you to help us do things that will benefit you, because we're there to serve you. Fellowship, this is creating fellowships around the place. One of the funniest things that I found out was that there's a fellowship for wine drinkers. But there are lots of fellowships out there. It's another way you can network with people and connect with them. So think about joining fellowships. The incoming chair for it is going to be also reaching out to clubs to see how to grow the fellowships. Water and sanitation, big thing. We need people on that, because believe me, most of the diseases we have around the world that we spend billions of dollars trying to cure the after effects of it come from poor water and sanitation. Most of the things we do. So that's a committee. Global rewards, that's a deal thing, kind of like Rotary's idea of giving us discounts and stuff. We need people on those committees as well. Rotary, we need people there. Nominating, they have a nominating committee that this is made up of, I think, 2 DGs who are going to be the one in charge of nominating who's going to be the incoming DGN and stuff. Council on Legislation, we have 2 people that sit on that, and those 2 people are the ones who represent us at RI when they're doing their laws and all the legislation. We have AGs, I think there are about 13 AGs, and they are the ones to facilitate stuff. So sometimes the average time is 3 years for an AG term. So again, we're always looking for past presidents that can step into those kind of roles to continue to lead along the way. Advisory Council. Those are the different committees that's available that we can all join. Now, let's talk about the initiatives of RI, Rotary's goals. What the initiatives was. I've been at the training, I was at San Diego a few weeks ago for about 7 days, cooped up in a hotel. I thought I was going to San Diego to have fun because I'm leaving the cold Wisconsin to the warm California. Well, I spent most of it 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. cooped up in a hotel, listening to different things, sometimes blanking out of boredom sometimes, but I survived it, so I'm here. But they do have some things that they have in mind. And this gentleman up here, Barry Resin, is the incoming president for RI for 1819. He's from Bahamas, and his vision is to grow Rotary. His vision is to grow the next generation of Rotarians. So you're going to be hearing a lot from him in regards to youth, new generations, new clubs, and he scared me with something he said the first time I met him at Zone, and that was he wants us to go and double everything. Double the clubs, double the Rotary clubs, double the income, double everything, and I literally almost sunk into myself as in, oh my God, what is he talking about? But that's his goal. His thinking is, if you don't push boundaries, you're not going to get much results. If we're content with saying, oh, I just want to get 1 new member, then if you don't get that 1 new member, you can even, yeah, it wasn't that bad. But if you push yourself to say, I want to get 50 new members, and you get 25, it comes out to being much better. So that's what he explained, because when he was challenged with the whole double everything, that was the way he explained himself, is that think outside the box, push yourself, see how far you can go. So Barry is the incoming, very laid back guy, doesn't like wearing ties. He's going to be bringing a much more less stuffy way of lifestyle thing into Rotary, because he hates ties. I mean, I think throughout the whole time we were together, he wore ties maybe twice. The formal tie to show us what it looks like, and then at the dinner with his bow tie, and that was it. The minute he could pull it off, he was done with it. So you can see the laid-back style of the island kind of thing with the way he's very successful guy. He just retired from a hospital complex that he built for Bahamas, that he founded. Next is Rob Kanufa. He's the RI director over us till 2019. Rob is based out of Illinois, so you might see him coming to things like zone or district events sometimes if we can get him in. So that's like he's our boss locally within the region. This is the theme. This is the 2018-19 theme. Be the inspiration. Be the inspiration. I copied that quote from Barry because that was what he told us when he did the presentation of this theme. He wants each of us to be the inspiration, each of us. Every Rotarian inspiring other people in the way we live, what we do, think, say, or do. Basically the four-way test kind of thing, but in a much more emotional-based concept of it. To inspire people, inspire them to join the Rotary, inspire them by the way we live, what we show, by example. So that's the thing that he's trying to get across to all of us. He also operates by something called LEAP. He said he got that from the book, Radical Leap by Stephen Faber. LEAP. 1, love. Show love. Love your next man or woman. Love the person around you. Love your community. Be energetic. Show energy. Show passion. He wants us to be audacious. Well, that's where he comes up with the whole double thing. Breaking barriers and the whole 9 yards. He wants us to be audacious in what we're doing. Be creative. Go out, get off the beaten path. Try something new. Show proof with results. Show proof with results. Increase our clubs. Be creative. The one thing I told him that he laughed about was the fact that, the worst mistake anybody's ever made was the day they tell me I have a blank check. Because trust me, I'll write big numbers on that check. I will push the boundaries with those checks. And he says that's what he's basically saying. As the leaders, break barriers, do what you need to do to make your club successful. Do what you need to do to make the members of your clubs happy. They are the primary customers. He wants you to show love to them. So that's the basic thing that he's operating based off of. Now, I was thinking of playing the video of his actual presentation, but it's about 20 minutes long. So I'm looking at the weather there. I don't think I want to keep you guys sitting for that long. So I'll share the video so you can all watch it at your own leisure. So I'm going to skip that part because I don't like the way things look out there. So I'm going to skip that as much as I can without playing it. Now, first initiative that he has, the RI has for the year. Rotary New Generation. He specifically said that he wants all district governors to, at the minimum, double the Rotary clubs they have. And that was part of what led to the email I sent out to your executive teams of your clubs asking about what we have. So I have an idea of what exists. Then I can know how we can talk about creating more. Now, do I think I can double what we have? I don't know, because I can't do it by myself. I need the support of everybody in this room to make that happen. Now, again, he says be audacious, or whatever way you want to pronounce it, but the point is, he wants us to double the Interact and Rotaract and New Generation clubs. That's his number one priority for the year. I'm gonna skip this story as well. Oh well, I'll play this. This is what the law.
Young professionals and young people can find something in Rotary that makes so much sense for their existence.
One of my goals, and I think one of the goals of just younger people in general as we get into organizations like this, is to kind of diversify it.
There are a lot of people who have a lot to offer, but don't know an outlet for it, don't know where to put it, and this gives you access to everything.
I was just amazed at everything Rotary did and how much bigger than it was than what I thought it was. And so I wanted to join. I wanted to be a part of that.
You know, we laugh. It's a bunch of old guys that get together for lunch every week. And it's the furthest thing from that.
It's so much more than I originally thought it was. It wasn't just about making friends. It was about going out on a random Friday morning and helping to build a barn.
You know, we tend to be a little compartmentalized in our lives, and Sometimes we forget people in our community who need help.
The face-to-face, the personal engagement with individuals and in the community is, you can't find that or replicate that elsewhere.
Whether we come from one walk of life or another, it transcends all of that because we come together in the name of service.
As a young professional, I just think it's one of the best things I could possibly have done.
Now, quick thing I'm going to tell you. You're going to hear a lot about the youth thing, getting new members, young professionals, and all this stuff. Please don't get offended with it. Please don't. The rationale is the fact that I realize, well, I get reminded every day when I sit down on Facebook, and some of the kids that used to call me uncle when I was, in college. They were little kids in high school, they're married, they have kids, and I look at the mirror and I see the gray beard, and I realize the fact that I am no longer the youngster I used to be a few years ago. Now, granted, I have a group on WhatsApp of my old high school friends, and I still act like the silly high school kid when I'm with them. And I tell them that I'm using that as a way to keep myself from remembering the fact that I'm getting older. So when they talk about youth for Rotary, they're looking at the next generation, people to come after us to continue to build Rotary. Now, my idea of how to accomplish kind of like meeting a balance between what Rotary is demanding of us, as well as the fact that we have clubs that's not they don't need to chase after the so-called youth to be successful, to grow, is a balance. I don't believe in forcing square plugs in round holes. My thought is, what works best for your club in your area? How can you grow that club? It's not that you have to have some 20-year-olds or 30-year-olds before your club is vibrant. What can you do about your club? What does your club represent? There are members, there are people that we've not tapped into. There are retirees that are coming off their jobs, that have more time on their hands. We need to tap into those groups too. So please, when you hear the Rotary theme of youth, don't think necessarily that that means that you must have some youngsters be in your club. No. Think of what your club needs. What will grow your club? What will make your club the best it can be? And go for that. Don't force a square plug into a round hole, because it's just going to make things go bad. So please, when you hear the youth thing, yes, that's the mission, that's what Rotary is trying to do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only thing you should think about when you're trying to get members, because we have a large spectrum of people out there that should be Rotarians that we can go after. Second initiative, polio eradication. Big thing. Now, you think that with us going around with all the videos with a little bit almost done, we have maybe 2 countries left now that still has polio. They have less than 60 polio cases, all the nice things. You think, oh yeah, gee, we're about to be done, so we don't need to give them any more money. But reality is, yes, you need to give even more money. Why? Because all it takes is one plane flight, one flight, one person, get on the plane, land here in the US or anywhere in the world with that issue and start it, and you have an epidemic. Because you know what? The average person here today under the age of 40 doesn't know anything about polio. I've not seen somebody with polio. I was fortunate to have seen some. I grew up with some because I came from a third world country and I saw kids who went through polio. So I know what it looks like. But the average person my age might have never seen one. So there's that disconnect here in the US. But we need to raise the monies because we want to make sure it's completely eradicated, so there's no chance of it coming back in any way. I'll give you an example of the danger of the one flight thing. I many of you remember the Ebola crisis when it blew up. Well, I was supposed to lead a delegation to people of business people to Nigeria. And when the Ebola thing came, I had to cancel the thing. Lo and behold, somebody somehow found their way into the United States with it. You remember the person that came with it in here? They were able to stop it. But some people they somehow can bring things in. So we have to be careful. So just because we one day, I'm hoping it's our year. This is going to be, it'll be the coolest thing. 2018-19 to be the year that polio is gone. But after that, we still have to keep doing things to treat it to make sure it doesn't come back. So that's the second priority for RI and Barry is the polio. So that means we have to keep giving the money, and we're fortunate enough we have Bill Gates still willing to do the 2-for-1 deal. So your $1 means you get $3 worth of value because Bill Gates will match it with 2. So that's still a great deal that we have. And he's committed to doing that till the whole thing goes down. I think there is a target of about $450 million that's projected for that. So let's keep giving, That's their second priority. Again, what's his challenge to us? Double. So again, the key word for 2018-2019 Rotary year, the key word is double. Anything you're doing has to be doubled. That's what he's asking for. So if you're already giving things, double. Now, he wants to get more people to get citations. It used to be called the presidential citation. Now it's the Rotary citation. He wants more clubs to get them. You all have the handout with a little trifold thing in there that would give you the breakdown of how to accomplish it. And I can tell you this, when I reviewed that document, I realized that it is really simple and easy to get to. Because if you use that framework in your club, you would have a very successful club. And the process of using that in your club, you end up accomplishing two things. A very vibrant, successful club that also gets recognized for it. The framework is quite easy and very, very simple to go, and I think almost every club, if not all, can accomplish that. Now, I don't know who's going to put in the effort to do it, but I strongly will be encouraging that we all strive to do that. My goal is to double whatever we currently have as record. So if we have 10, see if we can push to get 20 clubs to become Rotary, to get this Rotary citation. So that's the third initiative for the year. Now, let's talk about the role as presidents of the club. I'm going to play a short little video here for you to entertain you and get something going.
Every Rotary project anywhere in the world always started out with one person who had an idea. And then they were able to grow and develop that idea by getting other Rotarians engaged and using that powerful network of Rotary to really change the world.
I want to make a difference, and I see Rotary as being the best vehicle worldwide to be able to make a difference to the community as a citizen of the world.
It's always a blessing to give back what you have received. Rotary is just a sweet place to be. The fellowship, the ability to serve. It's not about how old you are or how much you have.
We don't have to be Prime Minister to lead our country. Even one Rotarian can do lots of things.
People want to feel involved, and that's how they feel that they're actually contributing and giving something back to the society.
Every Rotarian's needs are different. And if we don't know what their needs are, then how are we going to fulfill them?
Right after someone gets in Rotary, you have to start fostering the opportunity for them to take a leadership role, whether they choose to or whether the club chooses them to.
Leader is a role model of everybody.
If you've got the heart, you're going to take your club forward in some fashion. And that's what it's really all about, all of us working together.
Teaching, leading, and then transferring the responsibility of what we're doing to them. The rewards are huge. The satisfaction's enormous. And I'm very proud to be a Rotarian.
When you talk about leadership, leadership is leading by example. Leadership is showing the team that what you ask of them, you can deliver on. Servant leadership. leadership to serve the members. That's my concept of leadership. When I was doing my doctorate program, that was one of the topics that I worked on, servant leadership. And that's what I'm hoping you all will be. Leaders who serve the club. Leaders who show by what you do that the club members can see that what they can emulate from. My club members, they have a love-hate relationship with me. They love me because of the fact that I can be quickie, fun, playful, and whole 9 yards. But they don't like the fact that I don't ask them to do things that I can do better. And I show it to them. Whatever I ask of them, I try to show it to them that I can do better than what I'm asking of them. So nobody can give me any excuse. They can't. I always overachieve what I ask of them. Oh, sell 10 tickets, I'll sell 50. Now, what's your excuse? You can't come back and tell me anything. That's my style of leadership. That's the way I run my companies. Same principle. My staff know. I'm not going to ask you to do something that I probably can't do. I'm asking you because probably you will be a better person to do it than for me to take the time to do that job. Not because I can't go in and fit that role. And that's my idea of what leadership is. Service. Example. And that's what I'm hoping you guys are going to be doing for us, because with your help, the district governor is just, again, my thinking, I'm just the representative of the RI people in here. You guys are the ones running the show. And I'll now look good. You know, the more successful you guys are, then I can go back to RI and like, hey, guess what? My district is doing all this wonderful. It's all the work you guys do, not me. Ladies and gentlemen, you're the ones who are going to take this district to the next level, not me. I'm just here to ride on your coattails, basically. As PEs, which is starting from when you were appointed or when you were nominated or when you accepted the role, till June 30th, these are the basic things you're going to be doing. One, you're going to be working with your current club president with regards to decisions affecting the club. I know some of you have had to play the role of president a few times before, so you're fairly comfortable with all of those things. You're going to serve as a director on the board. It's expected. We have, in my club, we have a pathway to being president in my club. You start off as sergeant at arms, you rise through to become secretary, you become president-elect, president-elect, you become president. So everybody knows that the day you're appointed as sergeant at arms, you're going to become the club president, except something takes you away from the club. So again, with those things, those people are also the board. So they know what goes on within the club and can handle things. You also need to start appointing your committee chairs, who are going to be the team that you're building. Because this is your team. Not the past president's team, your team. The people that are going to help you get your vision for your club, for your year, that is in sync with RI's vision to make it a reality. So you need to start appointing the people that you think will work best with you to accomplish that goal, or the goals you have in mind. Club budget. Do you have a budget? What is it? What's your goal? You have to start working on one. For the district, we had a budget meeting, I think it was last month or thereabouts. It was so much fun. We spent 2 hours on the place, and we're going to be meeting again on the 6th, right? Correct. For part 2 of the budget. Well, that's the reality. Sometimes you have to sit down and go through the numbers and make sure the numbers make sense for your club, based on projections and what you're going to spend and the whole nine. So yes, you need to talk about the budget for your club. Encourage all your incoming officers to be involved with district stuff. Let them come to events that district is doing, because the more they see what happens at the district level, the more they understand what they're part of. A lot of clubs operate almost in isolation, like they're in their own little world. But it's a big world out there for the Rotary world. Those of us who get to go to things like zone, Rotary International Convention and all the stuff, it's always like an eye-opener as in, whoa, gee, so this is what they mean about Rotary. It's beyond just being in the little corner of Milwaukee where we're hiding or something, what have you. So encourage your members and leaders to be part of those things. Create an account. If you don't already have an account on Rotary.org, please, please, please. We're going to spend some time today. We're under the leadership of Craig and Steen. There'll be some time on the Club Runner, I think, yeah, Brand Center, as well as the, why is the name skipping my head now? How convenient.
Club Central.
Club Central. There's going to be some time on that. So create an account. One of the things I did last year was to make every member of my club create an account on, because I happened to play a role of president last year when we lost our president, so I had to step into my club's role as president while being DGM. Fun, huh? Well, I made everybody create one. That takes care of that. So, as the officers, you should be there. You should have your members do that. At a pets session in Itasca, that's not an option. No pets, no presidency. Now, things might happen. You might not be able to make the one on March 2nd and 4th, but there is something called the Pets Alliance, and I think I sent it in an email some time ago. If you cannot make it on March 2nd and 4th, you need to find one of those Pets Alliance locations to go and do your makeup for pets, because that is not an option with Rotary. You have to go to pets. Not an option. So, track your goals. Set goals and track your goals. I try to be conservative, and I teach my club leaders to be conservative about their goals. It's been a trick that I've always used, or a method of thinking, even with the way I run my business. It's simple. Don't set too high an expectation per se. So I'll tell them, hey, you know what? Set a goal just slightly above what we did last year, so that when you exceed that, you look like a superstar. So again, that's what I use in my club. You don't have to do that. You can be like Jeff, you can be like Barry Russin, who says, be audacious. So you can set a goal to give $50,000 to polio. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll still look like a superstar from your hard work. So that's great. Or you can set just $5,000, but set goals, put them in there. Put it in the Rotary.org Club Central. So please, that's going to be something that will be done at PETS. I'm going to dedicate one breakout session where we're going to get on laptops and stuff. So when you're coming to PETS, bring your tablet or laptop with you, because we're going to do that. If you've not already done it, if you've already done it before you get there, hey, you can sit down and look at us and laugh at us, those of us who have to do it. But the point is, it's going to be done. We have to set the goal. So what I recommend is, if you've not already decided on what you're going to have as your goal, go into Rotary.org, check out what the goal of your outgoing president is. Decide on what you want to do, so that you, even if you have to write it on a piece of paper, bring it to PETS. We're going to spend one of the sessions, district breakout sessions, just on getting the goals in there. Because believe me, 9 times out of 10, you have a life or have lives outside of Rotary. And all it takes is you forget it and it becomes something pushed to the back. So because we're all in that little place, that enclave where we're being forced to think Rotary, act Rotary, and do Rotary stuff, we might as well just get it done there. So you don't have to worry about it when you've left the place. So that's why that's going to take place that day. As the president, set goals for your committees. Be audacious. Decide on what you want them to do to make the club greater. Accomplishments. Supervise the budget. If you've not created one, make sure it's happened. Make sure, again, your officers have accounts on Rotary.org. Work with the governor and assistant governors. All the clubs have an assigned person who is going to be your AG for that region. Work with them. If you have questions, ask them. Most AGs, anybody who is appointed as an AG is somebody who has been club president before, had some extensive experience of sorts with Rotary, so they're good resources. Shoot me an email. I promise if the least I could say is I'll get back to you to go find the information for you, I'll get back to you. Shoot me an email. Shoot the AGs an email. Actually, the best way to reach me is emails. The best way, because one, I can't deny that I didn't get your email. Voicemail is the hardest thing to use, because when you call me and I'm in a meeting, I may miss the call and I may not get around to check it till late in the night, then I can't call you because it's past 9. I make it a rule, I don't call people after 9 p.m. just out of respect for them. And before you know it, it's 1 week later. Because I woke up at 4 a.m. the next morning and I started my day and I forgot about it. So send me emails, that's the best way to communicate with me. Same thing, reach out to your AGs, work with them. There's a required club visits to each club that the DG has to do. And I think it's a wonderful thing because it gives the DG a chance to get to meet with your club and learn more about the club. Get to know about your club directly from the club members and the board of the club. So in the folders, the handouts that was created for you, the schedule that I created for my club visits is in there. That's the one with the blue, well, all of them come with the blue Rotary thing, but that's the one that that has the pets thing at the top of it. That has the agenda. Now, what I want you to all do is review that agenda with relation to your club. The day that I have in there to say that I'm going to be visiting your club, look at it. Please get back to me when we meet at Pets. Let me know if for some reason that day does not work for you. Let me know also if for some reason the time or the location has changed, because like for example, my club changed its meeting location. We now meet at a different location. So I had to do the updates and all the stuff to the website and what have you. So things like that do happen. So please let me know at Pets. So you have between now and Pets to verify that that day works for your club and that time, so that I can make sure when we meet that everything works perfectly well. Because once you confirm the dates, that calendar is going to be made available publicly to the district website and blasted out to the whole membership. So keep that in mind. Youth protection, again, that's crucial. The policies, the last pages of the document that you're reviewing also has something that I got from the youth protection officer. So please review that, go to the website and check out the processes for youth protection. Also, the document that you're going to be picking on your way out also has some of Rotary's rules with youth protection. So please check those things out, please. Board meetings, you are in charge of the club. You're the person running the club, so you're going to be leading the board meetings and stuff like that. So plan how you want to schedule your board meetings. Work with your team to make things happen for that. Social events, club meetings. Plan them with your team. Social events are very, very important. Social networking. This thing called Rotary started with a group of 4 people who decided they want to network together. Sometimes I think we lose the aspect of networking from the Rotary thing. The part of where we network for business, network to do business and stuff, and socialize and party together, have fun. We're supposed to be like a support system for each other. Sometimes we don't do that as much as we should. How many people patronize exclusively Rotarian businesses for all the services you seek for? Anybody in here? Very few. Why not? Why don't we do that? I want to believe there's practically very few careers or professions that Rotarians are not involved in. Why aren't we using them? Why aren't we patronizing ourselves? We all preach the 4-way test. If there's anybody I'll trust, it's somebody who lives by the 4-way test. If somebody lives by the 4-way test, you don't need the Bible, you don't need any religion, I'll trust that person with my life. Which is one of the things I'm hoping to do this year, is to create a directory for businesses of all Rotarians within the district. I'm hoping to create at least an electronic directory where you can access who does what, where, so when you need those services, you can at least give them first bids, at least, fellow Rotarians, okay? Also, as president, make sure that your members are trained. They need to know more about it, especially when you're bringing in new members into the Rotary world. Get them trained. TJ has done a phenomenal job with the webinar tools. Victor has been a great help. They've done some wonderful things up there. And Ludmila is learning how to get into the game of making those things happen. There are webinars. You all requested for ways to get training without having to drive miles to get there. So we brought in the webinar tool. And by the way, that webinar tool is available to all of you. You paid for it. What belongs to the district belongs to you. You pay for it. So you want to use it for training in your club? Because I use it to train my club members. All my club officers, I use that to do the training for them. That's beside the fact that I actually have my own company license training tool. No, I use the one for the district because guess what? This is for Rotary and we paid for it. So it all belongs to you. So you should use them. Train your staff, train your members. Let them know what it is, what the roles are, what's expected of them. Okay? District events, again, encourage them to participate. Club Central, let them use it. Let them use it. Let them get comfortable using Club Central. District conference, please, please, try to be there. It's the celebration of the end of the year. That's the way I view the district conference, where we all come together to celebrate the wonderful thing we've all done together as a collective for the past year. We should all be there. We have 2,700 plus members in this district. I would expect at least, at the minimum, that we should have at least 20% of us show up to celebrate together. At the minimum. Please, encourage your members to go to district conferences. Get them to come in there. Also, the year runs out fast. 12 months. It's amazing. It's amazing to think at this point I'm standing here saying this. Since 2012, I've been always involved with this process. I'm usually either playing the role of TJ or something. Now I'm the one talking about this. Time flies. 2012, 2018. Time flies. Same thing is going to happen as your role as president. Before you know it, you're approaching the end of it. That means you need to start working with your successor. How are you going to transition this role to them? How are you going to guide them? Show them the things you've gone through and how to do better. The key officers that you need to put into Rotary.org are the president, secretary, executive director or secretary, foundation chair, membership chair, and treasurer. Always put those people, create them, have their accounts set up in myrotary.org. Executive secretary or director is something RI started a year or two ago. And that's for people they designate special roles to. But the way most clubs have been using it is if you have somebody, because you have some clubs, for example, you have some clubs where they don't have enough people who are IT, very geeky and all that stuff. And so you might be lucky enough to have one person like me, the geek, who happens to be a member of your club. Then you assign me to be the one who does everything that has to do with the Rotary.org and all that kind of stuff. You can give them that title because that gives them access to do all this kind of stuff for your club. So again, you don't all have to be IT geeks to be sitting on Facebook and doing all that stuff. Just find out one or two people in the club and let them do the job for you, okay? So, again, those are the people that need to be in Rotary.org. They have to have again, you'll see the handout in the booklet. There are some documents in that booklet that I made that you can use. Vital few. This is actually something I stole from, actually, I'll be honest, most of this I stole from Jeff Reed. All I did was just change it to suit my own needs. So, Jeff did a phenomenal job when he was doing all this paperwork. So all of this, Jeff, can you send it to me and I'll just tweak it to fit my own year. So the vital few Also, the document you have in the handout I was given to you basically gives you the key activities of things you need to do. What you need to do: select your team, go to pets, set up your club goals, work on your club budget, make sure your bylaws are up to date. Do you need to tweak anything in your bylaws? Make sure everything is going fine. If you're fine with it, you go on with that. Forms you need to submit to RI. Members, new members, update your member information, make sure everything's going well. The key meetings you want to be a part of as president that you're expected to be at. Pets, One Rotary Summits. We're going to continue the format we already have. We started in 2016 here, the IPDG Julie Craig, where we had 6 One Rotary Summits around the place. Jeff did the same thing. I'm going to be doing the same thing because we noticed that it's more convenient for you in the district to have something closer to home than to bring all of you down here to West Bend from different parts. Even though, yeah, logistically and geographically, this is supposed to be the center of the district. But it's more convenient when we bring things closer home to you. So that's why we're continuing that process of the One Rotary Summit. So we're going to do that. The agenda for that is already in that document you have with you, with the dates, the locations, everything. So you just decide which one you're going to be going to so you can plan ahead. Part of the reason why many of these agendas are already handed out to you is so you can plan ahead. I hate last minute, oh, we're going to be doing this because I have a busy life. And so if I know 3-4 months ahead, I can play around with my calendar to accommodate things. So that's why you're being given all this, so you know, so you can plan, because again, you all have lives outside of the nice things you do with the Rotary. The other thing you need to also get involved with, which again TJ and the training team have done, is the training for officers. They organize training for officers through the webinar. So please look out for the emails that will come inviting you or inviting your officers to participate in those trainings. My goal as DG for the district, basically, I'm just going to be trying to, as much as possible, to mirror the goals of RI, because that's what's expected of me, because I'm supposed to be the RI representative down here. So, first thing, we have a strategic plan in place that was built a couple of years ago, and that I'm going to continue, which is build the communication within the district and clubs. Increase foundation contribution. Develop more leaders to the district. I think I have about maybe 2 or 3 members of my club that are at the district level now. Why? Because I realized one thing. The earlier they get into the game, the better the chance that they'll stay with Rotary. The more they see things at those different levels, the more they want to stay, they want to serve. So, get more people from different clubs, new people, into the district leadership roles. Membership. We need to grow. We need to get more members. How you do it is going to be unique to your club, because your club is not my club. Your club has its own personality, its own style. I'm not going to, I can share with you how I do my clubs, and I can tell you, Tammy will be a witness. I'm called the benevolent dictator in my club. I get away with it because they're all new to Rotary. So I can set some guidelines and rules of sorts. Now, God help me to come to your club and tell you some rules. You probably will throw me out through the window. Probably. So it's a different ballgame. So I'm not going to tell you that what works in my club is going to work necessarily for you. If you ask me, I'll share with you how we do it. Now, if you like the idea, you may try it in your club. But it doesn't mean that that's the best thing. So you have to come up with ways strategically on how to grow your membership based on your club and the community you stay in, because your club represents the community you stay in. So keep that in mind with growing your membership. Public image, crucial. I hate asking people, do you know Rotary? Oh, those that exclusive club of old white men that are like country clubbish people. And then I tell them, but I'm a part of Rotary. Oh, you? You don't look like a Rotarian. Is there a look for a Rotarian? What's supposed to be the look of a Rotarian? Square, chiseled jawed, 6 foot tall, navy blue blazer, pink shirt, khaki pant. I mean, what is supposed to be the look of the Rotarian? I mean, but that's the question there. There's no look of what a Rotarian is. A Rotarian is a person who has a heart for service, who cares, passionate about helping the fellow man. So there is no defined rule on how they look. And that's what we need to educate people about. Public image is the way to do it. So we're going to be pumping out a lot of public image stuff. Now, I'll be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you up front, part of the reason why the budget meeting is having a part 2 is because, again, we have limited funds on what we can do. So we have to get creative. So we have to utilize social media. It's the cheapest way to publicize your club. If you're not on social media and you are in 2018, we got a problem. If your club is not on social media world in 2018, we have a problem. We'll need to meet. I don't mind helping you do it, but you have to be there. It costs you less than $10 a month to broadcast your events and everything on social media to hundreds of people. Use it. You don't have to spend $2,000, $5,000 on public image. You don't have to. Let people know what you do. Rotarians have spent the best part of the last few years hiding your lights. You do wonderful things and many people don't know about it. We need to let the world know what you do, how you impact your community, how you're changing lives for the better every day. Let them know about it. That's what's going to excite them to want to join us. Because you know what? You have the biggest competition in the world, time. People have lots of things they can do with their time. So if you don't show them a value, they're not going to come. Most of you are either working in corporations or running businesses or leading groups. One of the common things any business person will talk about is ROI. What's the return on investment for any member you're trying to get to join? What are they going to gain? What's in it for me? When the Rotary talks about, oh, let's get young professionals in there, guess what? They're a generation of, they don't, pardon my friends, they don't bullshit about it. What's in it for me? What are you offering them? You better bring something to the table, or else they're not going to join you. Or else they'll come, spend some time with you, and they'll go away. They want something back. And the funny thing is that their generation is one of the most service-oriented generation that we have now. They want to serve. But the question, they put that caveat to it, what are they going to gain? And there's a lot they can gain from you. Your wisdom, your knowledge, your network, your connections, your mentorship. So keep that in mind when you're publicizing, doing public image. Let them know about the wonderful people that are in your club that can give them things. Training. District will offer trainings, clubs will offer trainings. We started a few years ago. I found out about 2 years ago that RI expects each club to have a trainer in the club. I know it's not easy to get a trainer because it's hard enough to get somebody to be president of the club. It's a reality. But somebody needs to take up that designated role in some way, even if he's wearing multiple hats, to work in tandem and in connection with the training team to make sure your members are trained as to what is required. Then the other thing is the youth collaborations and Rotaract. I went online and I checked from RI. We have only 2 Rotaract clubs that are existing according to RI's database. It's not easy to form a Rotaract club. I chaired the Empty Sunrise New Generations Committee, and I tried to revive a Rotaract club that he had that went belly up. And the only reason it went belly up is because those kids graduate from college and they move on. They move out of state. Some of them go to wherever they get the better jobs or better money or whatever makes them leave. So it's not easy. So what I thought about was, well, how about we start chasing after creating community-based Rotary clubs that are not attached to any school, college, or anything. How about we create new Rotary clubs? How about we create satellite clubs made up of these young folks so they can do whatever they want to do, and we can go hang out with them once in a while, party with them, and still be in our conventional clubs without necessarily having to change the dynamics of our club work. That's my idea of how we can get more youth involved. Give them their own space to do their youthful things, but still be there for them when they need our wisdom. Club goals. Again, going by the core thing, that's why I have it above Barry's initiatives. We have a strategic plan in the district. We created that, so we're going to be going by that. You have the breakdown of the strategic plans in the pages of the document. It's a one-pager in the document you have. Then we have Barry's initiative, which works with our strategic goal. So that's the other thing we're going to go for. Then we're going to all strive. We are all going to strive to end the presidential citation. Now, it would be great if we all get it, or if we can get more clubs to get it. I'm content with getting just more clubs together. Even if it's 1, 2, that's fine. Let's just strive towards it. Because again, the formula they have in those booklets will help your club grow. If you accomplish the things in that booklet, even not because of the citation, just for your club, it's a wonderful recipe for success for the club. I want to know about the projects you want to take. I want to encourage international projects. I think international projects exposes us to things outside of here. But at the same time, not at the expense of the local projects, because you know what? There's an old line, charity begins at home. If you don't take care of home and you want to go fix outside, the something is wrong with you. That's my thinking. That's the way I operate. So we need to take care of home, and when we also do things outside. So home is priority 1, outside is other things. But let's collaborate. Let's get more clubs coming together to do projects together. Let's bounce ideas. So here you have PEs like you. Start talking to them. What are you guys doing in your club? What can we do together? There's going to be some innovative things coming to the district, and I'm going to give you a little bit about it. I'm planning to have some events that are district-wide events, as in district-sponsored events. And it was an idea that was broached to me by 2 of the district leadership team, past district governors, that I'm now trying to flesh it out and make it a reality. My goal is to have at least 3 events in this district that would, 1, be a form of fundraiser for the district to raise money, and also to bring members of the district together to doing something together as our own, as a district thing. Have fun together. Let's do some fun things together. So we're not sitting in isolation in little corners of southeast Wisconsin and saying we're in our club. Let's come together and do fun things. Let's raise money. Part of the reason, again, I said we're having a part 2 of the budget and planning is because we don't have that much money in the coffers. We need to raise money. And rather than raising your dues, because that came up, hey, how about we just $20 extra, district dues? Oh, no. No. Why don't we just raise money and build our coffers up? You do it in the clubs, we can do it at the district level. So that's a projection. 3 possible things to be done. So the handout you have with you has the presidential package, which I came personally to give to each of you. And if you didn't get it, you'll pick it up. It's a blue perforated. It has like a 3-bind ring thing in there. And in it has those 7 sections. So I would also be sending an electronic version out to you. Because again, like me, I don't like paper. Everything has to be electronic for me, so I can pull it up on my tablet or laptop or PC or something. So you'll be getting an electronic version of it as well that you can use if you don't want to be logging that booklet around the place with you. So that will be made available soon. Membership materials, You've got a bunch of things that were handed out. Those are some of the things you're going to be using. Be a vibrant club and all. Assessment tools. And that's something somebody shared with me at International Assembly. That one thing that worked the best for their clubs is that they did the assessment to see the way the pulse of the club is. Many times we don't ask our members how they feel, what they want, and stuff like that. We just take up the role of leadership and we go through the motions of being leaders. So there's some nice tools and so those materials that IRI shipped to me that was distributed earlier to you all. So, breakouts and breakout sessions. It's time for us to now have Mr. TJ explain to you how the breakout sessions will go for today, and then we'll reconvene after the breakouts.
Thank you, sir. Yes. Thanks, Kola. Okay, so we're going to take about, if we could, take about a 5-10 minute break. We'll actually convene ahead of schedule at 10:15. And if you're a PE, president-elect, you're going to be going to one of two spots. Down the hallway here, on the left side is room L114. Through it, or if you go around the hallway, is L112. Now, who in the room that's a PE does not have a login to My Rotary? Who does not have that? Just need a show of hands. Okay. Who in the room has kind of searched around and played a little bit inside of My Rotary or Club Central? Okay. Though you can go to either section, and what we're going to do is focus in the computer labs into Club Central in a beginner's role or a more seasoned role. I'd recommend, if you do not have a My Rotary login, that you go to L114, which is right down the hall on the left, and you're going to be with Steen. Okay, it was right there. If you have played a little bit inside of My Rotary and Club Central, I recommend you go around the hallway to L112 with Craig, who's going to handle the seasoned Rotarians instead of Club Central. We'll do that at about 10:15. Refreshments should be all restocked, and I think there's restrooms right here down the hallway. And those of you who are district personnel, AGs, committee chairs, we're going to be in this room here, okay? Yes, sir?
What about the president-elect nominees?
President-elect nominee, I would like you to choose either section, the beginners or seasoned for Club Central, okay? Thank you for being here. You're going to be way ahead of the game. All right, so we'll take a little break and we'll start at 10:15. Thank you.